All right. So there could be those times when you are working on a document and you want to have different numbering formats for different parts of the document. We're going to see how we can do that easily. So what we do is we first of all decide on how many sections we are going to have in the document. Now, by sections, I mean you can look at your whole document as having different sections. For example, we can put the first set of preliminary pages in one section, and then we can also put the other content in the document to be another section. Also, we can also put the cover page to be a different section. So normally what I do, I'll put the cover page section 1, the preliminary pages section 2, and the body of the document all the way to the end to be section 3. Now with sections, we are able to apply different formats or styles to different parts of the document. So we all know that the cover page shouldn't have any numbering. Then section 2, which has the preliminary pages, we are going to make sure that one has Roman numerals. And then the body of the document. Normally, if you're writing a report, that could be chapter 1 or a proposal, that could be chapter 1. That's where the actual content starts from. So that will be the Arabic numerals from 1 all the way to the end. So that means we have to create those sections in this document as the first step. So to create a section, you come to layout up here, then you see breaks. In this case, you are interested in section breaks, and these are going to create for us the breaks that are going to break the whole document into the sections that we want. But before we do that, we come back to the document. Now this is the cover page, no page numbering, and I'm going to go to the very bottom of this page, just before the footer. If I click here, you see the footer is there. So just before the footer, you can always use the you can always use the enter key to push you all the way to the end. We don't want to start the page break up here, so you can always push the document the cursor at the very bottom of the page. Now, when I go there, I go back to layout, breaks, next page. Now, automatically, that creates for me a section break. How do I know? If I go back to home, turn off this paragraph marker there, you can see it has created a section break. Now, I turn that off. And then if I go back here, double click in the footer section. To go to the footer section, just about there, you double click and you're in the footer section. Or you can go to the header section of the next page. Now remember, every document, every page will have the footer at the bottom and the header at the top. Now here, we expect that we already have this page, the cover page belonging to section 1, and the second page belonging to section 2. How do we know? If I double click here, section 1, section 2. Or if I double click here, again, section 1, section 2. And we can see that the header section here of the second page is the same as the header section of the cover page. How do you know? Same as previous there. And again, if I scroll down, the footer section, section 2, is having the same layout. When you say same as previous, means the same flow. It's just like the previous. And we don't want that. So we turn that off up here. Link to previous. Click there and it's turned off. So now the header section is not linked to the header section of the cover page. Then we still want to come back here in the footer section of page 2, which starts section 2. We don't want it to be the same as the previous footer section of the cover page. Again, we turn that on. Now, see up here, you see here, we have this header section of the cover page and the header section of the first preliminary page, which belongs to section 2. And it's not connected to this, and that's what we want. So if I zoom in again, back to the original position, now we see that that's good enough. So now that means we have 2 sections and we can apply different numbering formats to those 2 sections of the document. Now, normally when you create a new section break, it will create some space above the content of the next page. You can always delete that using the delete key or the backspace key sometimes, such that you don't have any spaces above. Now that means we have our 2 sections, and we can come down here and insert the page number. Bottom of the page, bottom of the page, bottom of the page, there. Now you see, it's 2. And the cover page doesn't have any page numbers. That's okay. But we don't want it to start at 2. So we click there on that number, come back here, format page number, and make sure it starts from 1. But in this case, we are not using the Arabic numerals. We are using the Roman numerals. So start as I. Click OK. That's fine. Cover page doesn't have a number. That's okay. Now, page 1, 2, 3. Now, we realize that the body starts here, and we want the body section to have a different numbering format. Remember, right now, it's following. So what we do, again, we double click just below here. The last page of the preliminary pages. It could be table of contents, it could be the declaration, it could be the abstract. Doesn't matter, so long as it's the last page. So I'll make sure I click all the way to the very bottom of that page, of that last page. Move the cursor to the very bottom of that page. If it doesn't move as you expect, you can still go ahead and do so, but to create some huge space below. But let me go ahead and do that. Again, I create next page. Now, how do I know it's created? Go back to home, page, turn on the page marker, and we can see that the section break is there. That's okay. So I turn that off. Now I come back here. I remove this space that's generated. Now I come to the footer section. Now you see, this is section 2 for the preliminary pages, and section 3, same as previous. Turn that off for the header section. And then down here, again, same as previous, turn it off. And now we are ready to insert our new page numbers here. So what we do, click on that page number. Now this time, because the numbers are already there, we only need to format. Then we're going to choose this as Arabic numerals. Start at 1, click OK, and that's just about it. So all the other pages we create will follow this numbering format. So if I do zoom, you can see cover page, no number, I, II or 2, and then the body starts at 1 there.